Hello, my name is Esteban Reina. I'm currently an honor college student taking the Civic Ethos course. In this half of the Civic Ethos course, I was tasked with creating a project that benefited society. In this project, I created a draft of sort of explaining what it is and a presentation that you're seeing here. In this audio recording, I'm going to draw from both the essay and, of course, the presentation to explain every part of the project. So let's begin with, of course, what it is. In the objectives and the community problems section of my essay, I outlined that my hometown, the Valley, or specifically McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, that area, well, as of speaking now, as of 3/20/2026, it is the second most obese cities in America. It actually moved down. But at the time of writing, it was the first. So like I already said, it has a whopping 38.8 obesity rates in adults. It has one of the highest ones. And that's something that I want to fix. Or at least help out with. As I've already outlined in my paper, it's what we want to do and what we try to do is cut down the obesity levels maybe around 10%. That way we can tell if what we're doing is actually helpful. So that's what I want to do. As for what I am doing, well, we can get to that now in the summary. As you can already tell from the title, tackling obesity in the Valley area with a simple random sample to find the cause of obesity epidemic. It's a experiment that we're going to get volunteers, go to people's houses and ask certain questions to get the correlation between the obesity and, of course, the variables that I have outlined in my summary, being income, free time, family size, distance from various buildings, and convenience. Those are the things that we want to test for correlation, because if we see that if someone has a lot of free time, or a lot of people have a lot of free time, but they're still obese, then we can say that, well, it's not free time that's the issue. Maybe family size, maybe is the lack of income. As I wrote in my paper, the median income is only around $60,000. So if that income is too low to be able to be eating healthy, that's something that we can work towards. As I've already also mentioned in a summary in my paper as well, I want to work with UTRGV and other UTRGV because they've already expressed interest in helping this sort of epidemic. And not only that, but I want to also create a petition starting from UTRGV to lobby the local county government to make a necessary change. And that can range from creating more parks or creating an outreach to more people than just in the area of UTRGV. Something that we can reach more people in the future. In the spices and herbs are what the project embodies. And in the spices, I wrote that I believe it embodies professionability, because working in an experiment that deals with a lot of people, especially something that you plan to pitch to people, executives, people with a lot of power, you need to have a high level of professional ability, or else people aren't going to take you seriously. Especially, again, with an experiment of this size that I want to do. As for the herbs, I believe, like I said, it should stick with justice and fairness, because you shouldn't have any bias or anything that could taint the data of your project. Because if any experiment has tainted data, the entire experiment just doesn't have any value anymore. People aren't going to listen to it if it has data that isn't right or correct. The learning outcome, something that I want to take away from this project, is, of course, managing a project in general. I love data. I love looking at data. I love looking at the trends of data, but that isn't useful on its own. You need to learn to, of course, manage it with R and stuff like that, like I said in my essay, but also you need to learn to pitch it. You need to learn to put it on a presentation, put it on a poster, put all the data, and go to people with power and be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what you have to do in order to make the change that we want to make. That's something that I am very interested in and what I want to do in the future. And that's something that I think this presentation or this project kind of helps with. You learn to budget, you learn the staffing and the logistics, and you learn the challenges and the mitigation strategies that you might face. This is all something that was mentioned in the final draft of my paper that I wrote. And of course, all sorts of things about experiments. The impact, I've already stated that I want to lower the obesity rates by 10%. I think that is a good level, and that we can see if our experiment is actually working or not. And of course, the advice to anyone that making something like that, of course, bias. Bias is one of the worst things you can have in an experiment, and it just invalidates everything. Overall, this experiment was very fun to make because I just enjoy the idea of being able to help people in this way, and that's something that I can offer. Thank you.